This is a video on subtraction and borrowing. I'm going to be showing you some subtraction models using base 10 blocks, expanded form, and also the standard algorithm for how to write subtraction problems. Before we begin, I want to talk a little bit about vocabulary or how we name subtraction problems. Subtraction, I should write that down, can also be referred to as taking away or take away. When we subtract, we use the minus sign, and that looks like this, and you might see the word minus. Minus means subtraction. You might also hear the word less. And the answer to a subtraction problem is finding the difference. So for instance, if we have a problem just using one-digit numbers like 5 minus 2 equals 3, this is a subtraction sign, and the answer is our difference, the difference between the two numbers 5 and 2. Now let's go ahead and do a few subtraction problems. And I first want to share with you some conceptual understanding using base 10 blocks. And then we'll go ahead and write them out as well. So let's just say that we have 4 tens and 5 ones. So here's 4 tens. These are my tens because if you were to see, these rods are made up of 10 sections, and so they represent 1 10, or each rod represents 1 10. So here's 5 units. Okay, so here we have 45 because I have tens and ones. I'll write up here tens and here ones. Okay, now if I want to take away, say, 22 pieces, I'm trying to figure out what's the difference. If I take away 22, what's left? Okay, that's going to be our difference or our answer. Now we could take away by moving away 2 tens and then 2 ones. So I'm taking away 2 tens and I'm taking away 2 ones. And what's left is going to be our answer, which is going to be 2 tens and 3 ones, or 23. Let's do another one. Let's say we have a hundreds place here, so I'm going to add a column. Let's say we have 100. Okay, that's kind of over here. And 6 tens. Kind of have to smush them in. 1, 2, 3. Can't really see them all. I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so we've got 1 100, 6 tens, and 8 ones. So that number is going to be 168. 7, 8. Okay, 168. Now say I want to take away 117, or I want to subtract 117 from 168. I want to know what the difference is between the two numbers. So subtraction means I'm taking away. I'm going to take away 100. I'm going to take away 110, and I'm going to take away 7 ones. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's left is the difference. Here I have 5 tens and 1 1. So my answer is 51. That's what subtraction is all about. We're looking for the difference. Now I want to show you how to borrow with subtraction. And I'm going to say that we are going to start with 100, 2 tens, and 5 ones. So that number is 125. Excuse me. From that number, I want to take away 88. 125 minus 88. Now, if we look at this math, we're not taking away any hundreds, but we are taking away 8 tens and 8 ones. Notice, however, we don't have 8 tens here. We only have 2. And we don't have 8 ones here. We only have 5. So what we're going to be doing is borrowing from the place value further to the left. Each rod or each 10 is worth 10 ones. So 1 10 is the same as 10 individual 1 pieces. Okay? So I can trade in this 10 piece for 10 ones and place the 10 ones in the ones column. I just noticed something. This is supposed to have an E. Okay, so I'm going to put 2. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more is 10. Okay, so I've taken this 10 and I've traded it in for 10 ones. Now I'm just left with 1 10. But notice I want to take away 8 tens. I only have 1 10. So I'm going to go ahead and take away, or I'm going to trade in this 100 for 10 tens. So I'm going to take this away and instead put 10 tens or 10 additional tens in my tens column. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll just do it like this, 9 and 10. Okay? So that's the 1 was there, and then I added 10 tens. So now we have a total of 11 tens. Now we can take away the 8 tens and the 8 ones because we have enough in each of those columns or each of those place values. So I'm going to go ahead and take away 8 tens. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then one more. I'm left with 3 tens. And then I'm going to take away the 8 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ones. So my answer is 37. And that's what trading or borrowing is all about with subtraction. Now, granted, when you're doing these types of problems on your homework, you're not going to be working with base 10 blocks, but I wanted to show you the concept of what was going on or what is going on when you're doing subtraction and when you're borrowing. You're basically trading in one place value for another place value. Okay, let's talk about writing out problems without the use of the base 10 blocks. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right, let's say I have a number 549 minus 185. 87. Both of these numbers are 3-digit numbers. They have a hundreds place, a tens place, and a ones place. When you're writing out number problems that are more than 1-digit problems, it's a good idea to rewrite it so it's written vertically. Notice that I'm lining up the place values. The 9 and the 7 are in the ones place. This is the ones place. Then the 4 and the 8 are in the tens place. And the 5 and the 1 are in the hundreds place. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and subtract, and when we get to a number where we have to borrow, I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. So we're going to read it as 9, take away 7, and so that's going to be 2 left. Then we have 4 tens, take away 8 tens. Well, 8 is bigger, so we need to borrow from the hundreds column. So if I take 100 and trade it into tens, that's going to leave me 4 hundreds left. And that 10 that I'm going to trade, or that 100 that I'm going to trade into tens, makes this 10 plus 4, or 14. And when you put that little 1 there, you're basically saying you have 10 plus 4, or 14 tens, not 1 10. Okay, so now 14 take away 8. You can do this if you have your subtraction down pretty well. If not, you can do a counting up strategy where you can take the 8 and count up to 10. That's 2 plus 4 is 14, so 2 plus 4 would be 6. That's one strategy. Then we would continue on. 4 minus 1, or 4 take away 1, we can do that, so that would be 3. So our answer would be 362. I want to do one more problem, writing it out, and this is with zeros. So say we have, and I'm going to write it out vertically. Say we have 4,200. And from that, I want to subtract 750. Here we have a 4-digit number, and then from that we're going to take away a 3-digit number. Ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. So 0 take away 0 will be 0. In the tens column we have 0 tens, take away 5 tens. But again, we can't take 5 from 0, or else we're going to get a negative number. So I want to borrow from the 100s column. So if I take 1 100 from the 2 100s that I have, I'm left with 1 100. I'm going to trade that 1 100 to 10 tens. Now I have 10 tens minus 5 tens. That's 5. 5 tens left. I'm going to have to borrow again. And you might have problems where you'll have multiple borrowing situations, and that's just the way it is with subtraction. Sometimes you don't have it, but oftentimes you do. In this case, I have 1 100, and then from that, I'm going to take away 7 100s. So here I want to take away from the thousands. If I take away 1 1000 from 4,000, I'm left with 3 thousands, and I'm going to trade 1,000 into 10 hundreds. Okay, now because I already have 1 here, I'm going to put a 1 here, and that means that I have 11 100s. I know that sounds pretty weird, but it's a real thing. 11 100s. So now I can take 11 and subtract from that 7 hundreds. So 1100 minus 700 is going to give me 400. And again, you can count up. 7 to 10 is 3, plus 1 is 11. And because I have 3 here and 0 thousands here, 3 take away 0 is going to be 3. My answer is 3,450. Now, before I end this video, I recommend that you check your work. And the way to do that is to take the answer in your subtraction problem. So in this case here, I'm going to take 362, and from that I'm going to add 187. I should get 549. And the reason that is because subtraction is an inverse or opposite operation of addition, as is addition is an inverse or opposite operation of subtraction. So I'm going to take 2 plus 7, that's 9, 6 tens plus 8 tens, that's 14 tens. So I'm going to put the 10 of tens over here and make that 100. 1, 3 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And sure enough, that's exactly what we started with. So this method is a really good way to check your work. Plus, it's also an opportunity for you to practice addition.